Alright, so I decided to cut it off because we have a lot to get through. I do realize that I have a tower appointment with one of my clients today, so I have to get through this. If you guys just want to go to a particular reading, whether it's the Angelic reading, the Easter egg, Casadian or Biden's infrastructure plan, look in the description below. If you're watching this on replay, I'll have them listed so you guys can just go check those out individually. This is being live streamed April 1st, 2021. It's at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. No, this topic is not a joke, so I just want to put that out there before anything else. Hello, everyone. Hello, Paula. Thank you for coming. If you guys are interested in booking an email with me or a personal reading of any sort, you can book a reading with me at this email below. Now, please keep in mind, if you're new here, I do have a deaf accent and I may have a hard time pronouncing certain words throughout the video. If you have a hard time fully understanding me, please consider using closed captions as your guide. Disclaimer: all information I give during this recording is simply my intuition, my understanding, downloads information from the higher power. Believe me, I do not speak this fast during the video. I'm just speeding because it's a disclaimer. For entertainment purposes only and for education purposes only as well. Please know that when I read tarot, my cards would give my intuition would give the cards as meaning and not Google. Before I do any readings, I do have an opinion, but I will always let you guys know in advance. You guys already know that. New idea, meditation challenge. So if you guys do like that, let me know in the description below. And of course, if you guys are also interested, my surgery date is April 19th. All right, at the end of the video, we have two angelic reading and two Easter egg messages for you guys to choose from at the end of the video, so stay tuned. And so we're going to do some tarot. We're going to be doing the colonial type circle again, kind of the Ring of Fire like Marie Table does. This was inspired by her, so all the credit goes to her. Hi, Maria. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Julie. Hi, Doris. What's up, love? Guys, definitely like to put the like button on if you do like. So the first question I want to ask is about Biden's infrastructure plan. And the reason why I'm talking about that is just so important. And I talked about this in the upcoming the coming soon video with the natural disasters and the tsunamis and earthquakes and stuff like that. And I said the infrastructure plan is one of the most important packages beside the People's Act or the People Voting Act, is one of the number one most important and most influential readings that Biden can do. And the reason why I say that is because the thing that's coming very soon could be very detrimental, particularly to California. You know, funny enough, I took the state of, I added up the population. This is not including like Japan, China, Canada, Australia, or New Zealand as well, just so you know. I added up Hawaii, Alaska, Oregon, Washington, California, Idaho, Colorado, New Mexico, and Wyoming population together. It equaled out to 74 million people. So if this happened and it caused a big disruption, 74 million people within the United States alone are going to be affected. I'm assuming around 200 million people will be affected worldwide. So it is a pretty big thing. This is very important. Yes, I'm glad you guys are able to get the notification. So we're not going to waste your time. We'll just jump into this. Spirit's name, just tell me what piles do we need to focus on for today for Biden's infrastructure plan. Okay, so we're going to be using this deck. I love this deck. It works really well. It works phenomenally well with North Korea, Kim Jong-un. So we're going to be using this again. And they also want me to use the custom deck. So let's just kind of see. So Spirit Angels will tell me, what is the likely outcome or information that you would like to give us about Biden's $2 trillion infrastructure plan? This is a little bit different than normally the way I used to do it. My guys kind of want me to stay away from making predictions and instead kind of focus on the moral of the story and how we can improve upon where we are currently for the better, right? Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 12 and 13. Okay, so you guys can indeed see this because it's not inappropriate. So that's what we're going to do. Just so you guys can indeed see this. Can you see this? All right, so we're going to also have my main deck, my main personal deck, if you guys are, of course, interested. What about Biden's infrastructure plan that we need to know? Okay, we have here. Is there anything else? All right. So we have the card fell on this one. So this is number one, right? Well, we have here the courthouse, and this is in reverse. So it's talking about the judge, and I think this is referring to Donald Trump. This is referring to Donald Trump, and you can kind of see that here. It's in reverse right now. Because Donald Trump right now is undergoing these investigations and everything that's going on, right? So he must have did something to the previous infrastructure plan or did something to the infrastructure that is very damaging, and why Biden is putting forth this new narrative, this brand new legislation, right? What we have here is that Donald Trump is not going to be able to escape going to jail. This is the most likely outcome according to this outcome. So this is what I'm getting for that particular reading. Again, the way I read Tarot is reading it through as a storyline. So if you kind of like that, this is kind of like a story Tarot type reading. We have great fortune, right? So I do feel like it is going to be a very good thing if it was to happen, because you kind of see here, kind of reminds me of like Statue of Liberty here. We have the great fortune, her pouring this out. We're finally investing our money back into the United States. Yeah, you're exactly right, Julie. Exactly. We have here the community. A lot of communities are suffering because of the lack of infrastructure, right? You can clearly see that here, right? A lot of these people are not, a lot of people in these infrastructure areas or areas where they is needed is very poorly neglected. You can kind of see that here. This is people fully clothed, they're happy, they're in front of a nice place, a nice restaurant even. A lot of these people can't even afford to even get food, right? We have here expectation. People don't really have high expectations for their government. They don't really expect Biden to be able to pull through with this. This is not one of the American people's highest expectation. They really expected him to be like every other president and not be able to put any sort of investment back into the United States. We also have here, as well as we have privileged lady and it's reverse. And it's talking about if you don't live in a privileged area, now it's talking about rich and poor rural. If you're not someone who's very rich and you don't have a high income housing area, high income area like suburbs, rural, and urban, you may not get the benefits of enjoying those luxuries because simply based on your own economic status. We do have here as well a lot of the ideas and putting forth the message in here is that it's going to create jobs, right? A lot of people currently, as of right now, are not able to work. Right now, they're very unemployed, and this is one of the main talking points that Biden's putting forth is that this is going to create jobs, right? We also have here, as well as we have in this circle, that we have a pathway. And it's talking about that this is the good pathway. It's a pathway from going out of the darkness and into the light, right? But I'm also seeing here, the first message that I got is the railway tracks are going to be heavily improved. So maybe the way we used to have things done in terms of the railway is going to be a lot better for our country. Oh, you guys don't have internet in the rural communities? I did not know that. We do have here official person, and it feels like, again, this is not just one Biden thing. It's not just Biden. It feels like there's more than one person who's going to invest a lot of time and money into the United States. And that's a really good thing going forward, right? And this is the storyline, right? This is sign language. So this means story if you're learning sign language, right? And we have here, there's going to be someone who's going to put a facade. There's going to be a facade, a fake false person. And it kind of feels like this is the Republican Party at this point. They're pushing this narrative that it's not really like helping the infrastructure, it's not getting people's jobs, but that's not really true because, again, this is talking about the false person, right? But putting this misinformation, the thing that they're saying is not actually true. We also have here, as well as we have the mature man as well. So we do have Biden. He's a lot older. He's the oldest president in the United States history. He's currently 74 years old. And so it kind of speaks a lot to that. Joe Biden is the center of this infrastructure plan, right? And we have here that don't be surprised if, you know, Biden may not be able to get this through, particularly only because that it might be shown. It feels like, again, like I said, for the longest time, the United States is broke. And he may end up finding out, oh, sir, you may not be able to go through with this because the United States does not have the proper funding to go through with this. And you can kind of see that here, right? You see here, thief coming through, right? and that someone's trying to steal something. Now, this could also be the Republican Party, right? So here's the Democrats, and it's ironic, though, if you look at this, because you look at here, right, we have the women as the Republicans, right? And then we have here the guy dressed in a little bit more blue outcome. This is the Biden administration, and here is someone coming and trying to steal that. And it feels like as if they're trying to prevent Biden from having any sort of major legislation, so to have some sort of talking point going into 2022 and even 2024. We have here though is we do have in the end though we do have transportation transition. This is infrastructure, everything about the infrastructure plan, right? And we also have here's the Biden card. This is also the president, the man. We have here there is some sort of concern, and these are the two outcome cards here. We have the concern that he may not be able or have the votes to pass this. And it might be a little bit more difficult than he initially anticipated. And partly because of that is because they're unable to make this a bipartisan issue. And I feel like what really comes down to is getting to Republicans to agree on this. And here we have high honor, having high morals, understanding, agreeing to even agree to disagree, right? There is none of that in this Congress. There's none of that in the Senate currently, particularly in the Republican Party. And so that might be something very difficult for the current president of the United States. Yes, I completely agree, Paula. But President Biden has done a lot for the country. I do completely agree with you 100%. And one thing I can certainly say on the bright side, there is a better outcome in the future. I do see there is a 50-50 chance for this thing to get passed. So, again, the reason why I brought this up is because we're probably going to end up having a Cascadian earthquake. And the reason why I'm kind of worried, I'm going to explain this a little bit more deeper and give you guys a little bit more of an idea why I'm going through this. And we'll be looking at, of course, the Cascadian earthquake. But give me a moment. Let me just mix this up. Clear the cards of all negative energy. Clear the cards of all negative energy. Okay, so the reason why I'm talking about the Cascadian earthquake and why this has to relate to the $2 trillion infrastructure plan, I don't know if you guys remember, but if you guys know that Japan was expected to have an 8.4 earthquake, but because if an earthquake is happening for more than 3 minutes, it's a 9 points or more of an earthquake, and it caused a massive tsunami. And Japan was pretty prepared for it because it has been having tsunamis on a continuous basis, so they're used to it. However, in California, a lot of the buildings and the infrastructure is not built or designed like that. And so I went through and I kind of wanted to, put this out there for a moment, that I added up the states of Hawaii, Colorado, New Mexico, California, Oregon, Washington, Alaska, Wyoming, Idaho, all of them together, and it actually adds up, funny enough, it adds up to the total popular vote of Donald Trump in 2020 election. Is about 74 million people in the United States alone will be affected by this earthquake. And I was like asking myself, I'm like, well, there's no coincidence, right? For example, Merrick Garland, he was supposed to be a Supreme Court justice appointed by Barack Obama to the Supreme Court. He was denied that right. For example, another one, John Ossoff. In 2018, he ran for Congress. He ended up losing, but he made a reliably Republican district very competitive. It was a national hot district for the Democrats to contest. Well, guess what? He was not meant to win that so that he could become the senator of that same state that he ran in 2018. The reason why I put this forth is that for you guys to realize that everybody has a purpose. Everyone has a thing, right? And the people that are leaving and saying that they're experiencing these economic problems and issues in California is no brainer, right? Those people were put in a position of power to ensure that those people who are not meant to be in that state leave. And those people who are in that state may end up being part of the soul contract, may end up experiencing this potential earthquake, right? And so just say a lot of people moved from the state of California to the state of Texas. Well, guess what? They just avoided the potential earthquake that could have ruined them, could have wiped out the whole family, could have done a multitude of different things, right? And that's why I bring this forth, is to let you guys know that, not everyone is supposed to leave. And if you feel like it's a destined to leave the state of California or any of those particular states, then make the right decision to do so. Also, I forgot to add in Arizona as well and Nevada. But you understand what I'm saying, is that there's a lot bigger thing here happening that you're not aware of just yet. And I want you guys to stay protected. I want you guys to know the facts. I'm not trying to scare you. Take what you will and leave the rest behind. But again, I do want to be able to help you, because if I can be able to help 6 people leave the state, or, figure out or be more prepared for the upcoming earthquake, that means I potentially save 6 lives over 7.4 million people, 74 million people, right? And so that is a big achievement. I mean, I saved 6 people, and that's bigger than what I could have done had I not done any of this, right? So we're gonna do the Ring of Fire. We're gonna do the 13 colonies. This also affects the countries such as Australia, New Zealand, Japan, China, Canada, and a few other countries as well. So let's see what these cards have to say for that. All right, so Spirits and Angels tell me about the big Canadian earthquake, or Cascadian earthquake, which basically means the West Coast, right? The last time, the earthquake has erupted in the state of California, that really big, that mega big, was 320 years ago. The last time it has erupted in entire volcanic activity was around the time of the dinosaurs. So there's that. And so it's going to be pretty big. When I say it's big, it's dangerous big. But anyway, let's act. Spirit Angels, please give me things I need to know about for the Cascadian earthquake. What are things that we need to know right now? I do have a reading at 8 o'clock. I'm going to apologize to her that we're going to run over a little bit. Okay. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And let me just pick a final card for this one. What else do we need to know? Thank you, Julie. Okay. So I'm going to set this, looks like the state of California. And look at this. If you look at it, you kind of can't see that, right? It has the shape of California. Okay, so let's do the first card. So we have Mankind, right? This is Mankind. This is talking about the White House, right? So it feels like, if anything, if this was to take place during the current administration, or potentially Kamala Harris administration. So I do expect this to happen within 10, 12 years from now, or within immediate future, within about, I did say around June, May, April. This year alone, or within the next couple of years. We don't really know particularly. I can only pinpoint you or kind of give you a roundabout. We do have here a lot of people will be feeling very thankful and grateful, and I think there's people who are not going to be heavily affected by this. I'm expecting around 200 million people to be affected worldwide, which is about the approximate around, if I do the math, the United States has 321 million people in the United States currently. That is approximately 5% of the world's total population out of 7.5 billion people. In this case, it will be around approximately, according to Maxim, about 3.7% of the world's U.S. total population. And we do have all the world's population in that case. We do have here TikTok time. It's a matter of time. It's coming soon, right? We have the Biden's inauguration. You can kind of see here, this kind of reminds me of those fault lines, right? They're going underneath each other, and that's what happens. So what ends up happening, kind of think of it like a grocery bag, right? It's plastic, and you're putting your hand underneath it, and it's blowing up, right? You apply too much pressure, and so much hot air is being trapped into the plastic bag, and it's going to end up bursting, right? The same thing, that's what caused an earthquake. We have here, the storm is not coming just yet, so don't be worried. You do have some time to prepare. There's time to have some fun, do what you want, enjoy life to the fullest. Don't be a little too hell-bent on this particular thing. Don't let it control you every night wondering when it's going to happen. Just live comfortably. If you feel like you're going to be safe, just stay. We do have here as well, we do have, half the country, at least half the San Francisco area particularly, Los Angeles, San Antonio, those type cities, Vancouver, Portland, what's the other one? Seattle, all of them are going to be underwater. We have here as well as we have, they're not going to be very lucky. And it really depends. It's kind of like both ways. It can go either way. Because I see here is that if the infrastructure bill does get passed, they're going to be very lucky. And a lot of people's lives are going to be saved. If it does not get passed, it's going to be a lot of unluck. And a lot of those people who are in those states right now are probably going to end up feeling those wrath of those particular things. Again, those people who are there are meant to be there for a particular reason, whether that is to alarm people about global warming. Every purpose has a life, every person has a life, and everyone has a purpose, right? But not everyone should know their purpose, because if they have found out that your purpose on earth was to die so that someone else can realize something, you may not really want to know that in the first place, right? And you have multitude of purposes, but that's just one of them, right? We do have here the truth, right? The truth here, the intuition, the understanding is coming soon. This is not a no-brainer, right? Science is saying, psych is saying it. It's coming. It's just a matter of when, right? So the best way that you could do this is prepare, right? That's all you can do. We have here the new year. Happy New Year. I feel like going into the next year, it probably would have happened already. Sometime before the new year, it's going to happen. We have here a lot of people's lives are going to end up going down. I feel like a lot of people are going to be drowning. A lot of people are going to be put in the ground. A lot of volcanic activity. It's telling you to focus to the ground. Focus on the ground. If you really want to know when this is happening, you live in those states, you live in an area where it is indeed vulnerable, the best point is to do it right now is to go outside in nature, just sit down, nothing, no electronics, and feel the energy. Truly ask yourself, am I in danger? And that's what your guys are trying to tell you. That's the best way to find out. And we do have here 6. There's a lot of you guys, people go there because of parties and stuff like that. But I'm also seeing that you kind of need to use your intuition and your scientific knowledge and your understanding. Don't always look to the science community, because it's telling me that they're going to be a little off. And because of that, it can make or break your life. And the best way that you can kind of figure this out is by pinpointing it using your own intuition, right? And we have here the Ace of Swords. This card came up when we were talking about the coming soon video. The reason why I did this video or this specific topic is to talk about this because I saw on the news that it's 222 and I saw so many angel numbers when doing this. So this isn't important. But I am seeing here that a lot of the things I said in that video, including those channeling things, are actually coming to fruition to some degree. For example, recently I talked about Kentucky area being underwater or something like that. Well, guess what? Tennessee, Nashville is towards the if I believe if I'm right, it's towards the west of Kentucky, which is where I studied. If I am correct based on the reading, I don't really remember. You guys can go back and check that out. But I did say Kentucky was going to be partly underwater, and in that case, the state of Tennessee was partly underwater in the kind of the same area where I was directing you guys. So I got the state wrong, but I got the geographic and potential outcome in the right area, right? So that's why I'm using this as a pre-warning. It's telling you to get out if you need it, because it is telling me, this is yellow here, it's telling me be cautious and kind of think ahead, plan ahead. Don't wait last minute. Yeah, Kentucky is north of Tennessee. Yes, that's right, Julie. That's right. Yep. And so I'm going to do a little angelic reading, then I have to unfortunately get off because I have a personal reading. So let's do your Easter egg messages. Again, please do not be scared. This is just a warning. Take it at what you will. Okay? Yes, exactly. I agree, Julie. All right, so spirits and angels, tell me what messages. Okay. It is loaded. Okay, it's kind of like a Dorito. The loaded. Okay. I'm going to take the Easter eggs and say that they're not going to be in today's video because we keep doing them all the time. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to give you a moment to choose what one you want. So I'll give you a moment. Choose what one you like. Thank you, Gabe. You're so sweet, love. So pick what one you want. While you're doing that, I am going to give you guys an angelic reading. Hi, Greta. Spirits and angels, tell me what angelic messages do you have for my viewers today who are watching this video? Thank you, Gabe. You're so sweet. Love you. What messages do you have for my viewers today? What messages do you have for them? Okay. Okay, so we have here, this is quite interesting. You know how I talk about your life purpose and everything like that? Well, guess what? Your reading shows up that here as well, is that you need to harvest what you sow, but it's also telling me there is something coming in the fall. Whether that means something very big, I do see that there may be potentially some wildfire, some dryness. So if you live in those areas, it might be talking to you specifically about that as well. I do see here that it is talking about your life purpose, right? So if you're wondering what your life purpose is, it may be particularly why you clicked on today's video, whether or not it's telling you to get the hell out or to stay where you are. And you have to really listen to your intuition to kind of gather that particular information. And I don't know why Adobe's popping up on my screen. So anyway, we do have here transcendence and unity. I feel like you are coming into union with one another, including me and everyone else here. You are becoming in union. You're starting to understand it, right? You see the Egyptian like pyramids in the background. You're coming into union. Now, I don't know what this is, but it's giving me a symbol. And I don't know what symbol it is. Now, if you do know what it is, let me know. I kind of get in a register, but I'm not registering it correctly. So if you know what this is, let me know. I don't know. I've been kind of getting a good one, but not too sure. Oh, really? That's interesting. That's interesting, Julie. Okay, so for those of you guys who chose each egg, if you have chosen the pink one, your message today is, let's just see. Do what is right, not what is easy. So for some of you guys who might be debating what it is that you need to do right now, your guys want you to know is to do what is right, not what is easy. Okay? For those of you guys who chose this purple one or pink one or whatever color you call this, you have here as well. It's kind of like what to call it? The sweet and sour like gummy heads or something. So good. Anyway, they want you to know for those of you guys who chose that, you will be lucky soon. So this might be a sign, whether particularly this video or it might be you might having good luck along your way, which is really good, right? It sounds like Dumbledore, yeah. Interesting. We do have here, those of you guys who picked the orange Easter egg, your message is be loyal to your future, not your past. So they want you to kind of understand and trust your intuition that, you know, not everything is supposed to be not all your energy is supposed to be focused on the past, but rather to the future, right? If you kind of keep getting the same message, that means your guides are really trying to speak to you, right? And for those of you guys who showed this nice, beautiful indigo type Easter egg, your message is you are spiritually grounded. Right, so if you've been working on your root chakras, you know, your full body chakras, and if you have not, you don't resonate with that, but you pick this egg, go to my playlist section. I do have a full body meditation where you guys can meditate and stuff like that. Somebody did ask me why they're not seeing things when they meditate. That's not always happening to everyone, and particularly that is that sometimes it's just doing it to your body. Don't think about it. It's kind of relaxed. I like to do it when I sleep in. Sometimes I get very vivid dreams. Sometimes I don't. So you're not supposed to see everything. Sometimes it's just audio, visual. Everyone's different. So don't think too much into it, okay? I love you guys and have a very beautiful night. I do hope you guys like this video. Expect some more videos to come out soon. I am trying to get as many as possible before I end up going to surgery in 18 days. So I love you guys and have a beautiful night. Bye.